Hold up. Wait a minute.
Bruh.
Did you hit the like button? Drop some rabbits in the chat. Let's go.
Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, hit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. If you want the tea, come see me. Rabbit hole is the place to be for real news, not fake news. Celebrity news, breaking news around the clock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock, I rock, I rock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock. Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, hit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. True crime is my specialty. Exposing the industry. Unsolved mysteries. Sticking to reality. Fair use commentary. Talking about cults. Trying to get results. Exploring cults. Exploring. Researching. Debunking. Investigating. Being nosy. Super nosy. Being messy. Being shady. Rabbit hole news. That's me. The chick with ADHD. Unmedicated. But quite educated. Hit that like. Hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat. Hit chat. Hit that like. Hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Hit that like. Hit that like. Let's go. Let's go. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
Hi, everybody. Okay, I'm a little nervous, guys, because we have a new camera. And can y'all let me know if you guys see me? Let me know. Make sure. Oh my God, I'm so nervous about. Like, I'm just, you know how when you have like a new device, and I'm always looking over here because the camera that I typically have is over here, but now I have to look over here, and I'm trying to get used to it, and I'm new to it, so I'm a little nervous. Can y'all let me know if you see me? Everybody, everything works good? Yes? Okay, so we have a new camera, y'all, and oh my God. Hold up, y'all. Let me cough. I hate coughing on the mic. We have a new camera, and it is like, I'm scared of it. I'm so scared of it. It's a different angle. It is. I'm working on my setup still, y'all, as you guys can see. Welcome, everybody, guys. Happy, beautiful, wonderful Mother's Day. Just have to learn how to look over here and not look over there. So it's going to take me some time. It's going to take me some time. Okay. It's a really good camera, right? Yes. Amazing. Hold up. I got to clear my throat again. Guys, my nose has been like so dry. My throat has been just all over the place. The weather's changing, so this is around the time where, like, things start blooming, stuff starts kind of going all over the place. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yes, thank you, Darcy. Yeah, we're working. I'm trying to get my stuff ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow I don't know what's gonna happen. Tomorrow we're gonna figure out whether we're gonna have a Diddy trial, a Diddy jury situation. What is gonna happen? Listen, I have a lot of thoughts. I have been reading up on a lot of things, thinking about different things, messing with things. I have sewn some trim on my judge's robe. So the judge is gonna have some cute little Judge Judy trim on her neck. Yes, I am. I went to my local Hobby Lobby and was like, I need to get some trim. So I got some trim. And, as much as I don't really know how to cook, I could probably burn ramen. Excuse me. Let me clear my throat again. Oh my God. My sinuses are going crazy. I can burn ramen. I can do all kinds of things. As much as I can burn a bunch of things, somehow I was able to sew some trim into this judge's robe. And I loved it. I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. Hey, it is what it is. Welcome everybody, guys. Happy, beautiful, wonderful Mother's Day. Shout out to everybody. To all the wonderful mothers out there. To all the beautiful mothers out there. Oh my God, Mel, thank you again for being a member for 16 months. Amazing. Thank you for supporting my channel. Adam Freeman, welcome to the membership. Shout out to you. Thank you for becoming a member. Welcome for all the beautiful, wonderful mothers, the caretakers, those that have had to step up to that role because there's a lot of people out there that have to step up. Grandparents, fathers, aunts, uncles, guardians, whoever. Happy Mother's Day to you and thank you for all that you do. I hope you guys have a wonderful, beautiful day. Definitely going to be hanging out with the family today and doing different things and whatnot. And also getting ready for tomorrow. I hate out. Yeah, like my allergies get a little bit crazy. My nose dries. Like I woke up with my nose dry. I said, "Oh, it's that season. It's that time. It's that time. It's coming." All right, guys. We have so many things to get into, guys. Hit the like button, please, and thank you. I would appreciate it. Support the channel. Do all those wonderful, beautiful things that you do to support creators like us. Shout out to our wonderful, beautiful supporters as well. To the person that gifted this wonderful camera. Thank you. I promise you, I'm going to learn how to use this damn camera because I got to figure it out. I had to go to Walmart yesterday, and y'all know I hate Walmart. I avoid it. I went to Walmart the day before Easter, which wasn't. It was okay, but yesterday I went to Walmart and I did, and I let me give you an example as to why I hate Walmart. So I had to get a memory card for this camera, right? And at the Walmart that at least that I go to, the memory cards are like locked into a little thing where it's like, people be stealing shit. You got formula locked up, everything's, baby formula, all thing diapers are probably locked up, everything that people, want to take, they have it locked up. So memory cards, which the memory cards aren't too bad. They were like $15-$20 or something like that for a little memory card for the camera, right? All of that is locked up. I go in there and you have to, when you get a memory card, you actually have to purchase it at the electronics counter. So I am there purchasing the little memory card and I'm thinking everything's fine. I got a receipt for this memory card, whatever, I'm good to go, right? I got baby bunny with me and we're about to exit and there's a bunch of people walking out on the exit. Can you tell me why the alarm went off? I mean, there's like a sensor in this thing, this little $15-$20 thing of a memory card. The alarm goes off, and I don't even have anything on my cart or anything like that, guys. I got baby bunny. I hate that is the kind of stuff that makes me hate Walmart, right? Because then you got people and you know what happens. You know what happens when you're checking out? Everybody's looking at everybody. Who shop? Oh, it's the lady with the child who's shoplifting. So of course I'm like, oh no, let me go back. Got my receipt and the little memory card. And I say, here you go. You guys go into all this trouble to lock up the memory cards and everything, but you don't like uncensor it. You make people like, go through this who did it, who shoplifted thing. It was not me. But they didn't swipe off the sensor. That's why it went off. So story of my life, the things that happen at Walmart. This is the kind of stuff that I hate. I don't like Walmart. Then you go to the parking lot and it's like nobody can drive, nobody can park at the Walmart parking lot. I hate Walmart. Okay, they got to do better. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because everybody goes to Walmart at the same time, or I don't know. But I hate Walmart. And that's just one of the many examples as to why I hate Walmart. Yeah, and I don't play about like stuff like that when it's always something. It's always something. You guys know those self checkouts are very dangerous, by the way. Even if you forget to swipe something or anything like that, expect like they can come after you months after that. So say like you're just, those self checkout, especially Walmart is notorious for that. They can come after you legally. You can get criminal charges off of forgetting to swipe something and it gets in your car, you don't come back to that store and return it or have it swiped or whatever, they will come back for you. I know of people that have gotten into some shit over that. So please note that. Be careful at Walmart. Yes, it's always something. Always. And they're very good about that. You may think that you're shoplifting, you're getting away with it, or you may think that you forgot something. It is what it is. I don't care if it's a pack of bubble gum. Swipe it. Go back and swipe it because they will come after you and they will send you notices in the mail and you will have the DA or whatever for something that you're like, I could have paid for this. It was like $10 and they're coming for you. You know, I cannot. The Walmart mullet sucks. I don't know. You said I only self checkout so many times before I want to go. Yeah, Walmart is really they'll do too much. The online shopping, I have really bad Walmart memories. I think that's what it is. I just don't like it. No, 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 no. Me don't like it. All right, guys, let's get it together. Let's get it together, guys. We have so much to review, guys. Tomorrow is the Diddy trial, and we definitely have a lot to review. Now, hold up. Let me get it together on my. Oh, that's not what I want. Hold up. That is not what I want to play. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm not trying to play my own live. Here we go. Sorry, I had to close out of that tab. Cancel. Let's see. Oh my God, I got to get my screens together. Okay, let's talk about Diddy real quick. I mean, we're going to really get into an extensive conversation when it comes to Diddy because we have so much to review when it comes to Diddy. And I want to talk about first of all, oh man, let's talk about Mark Geragos and Diddy. And apparently, this is somebody who's really close to Diddy. So Mark Geragos has decided to respond at the Too Angry podcast, which, by the way, the judge on this case basically said, I'm gonna be watching this podcast. I'm gonna be watching you, Mark Geragos, and I'm gonna be watching. So Harvey Levin was like, hey, judge, yada yada yada, poking fun of the situation. I honestly don't think that there's anything funny with the fact that Mark Geragos has somehow inserted himself into this case without really making an appearance or without really saying whether he is the judge an attorney on this case. I don't really appreciate. I think it's almost like it's one thing to have an opinion, right? But to me, it seems like he's really inserted himself into this and really takes a light of this situation, which a lot of us are taking real serious. I don't know what it is. He's been friends with Diddy for many years. He's represented Diddy before. Hell, even Jonathan Adi, who apparently signed an NDA with Diddy back in the day and had SEX relations with Cassie, SEX relations with Diddy. And people thought he was crazy. And then now all of this is coming back that there actually was allegedly an NDA, which we don't know. We have to verify if that's the case. But apparently that's the thing. I don't find any of this funny whatsoever when it comes to Mark Geragos. So I feel like he's kind of making a bit of a joke of everything. And I don't know. But let's get into this article from TMZ, and then we're going to get into the Too Angry podcast situation. So Mark Geragos, Diddy's a friend. I won't abandon him. This is what he says on the podcast. Diddy's a friend who doesn't deserve to be abandoned. So says celebrity attorney Mark Geragos, who may or may not be representing him. The fact that we even have to question that drives me a little bit insane. Like, are you with the shits? Are you representing this man or not? Why is this even a debate? This should just be well known that you are, that you're there, and that's what you're doing. You and your family, because Tinny Geragos is there too, right? The daughter. You and your family are in support and representing this man together with Agnifilo and everybody. You just haven't made this public. Let's get into this interview.
6-pack of white women on the last TMZ podcast.
Well, no, what I would like to do is I would like to talk about the background of.
Oh God, I don't want to hear the background. Mark, do you just have do you have a comment about it? If you say no, okay.
I don't. Okay. I don't have.
That's fair.
But
so, so hold on.
I'm not being interviewed here.
No,
this
I'm
is
being,
a give and take.
This
is too angry. This is too angry man. This is one angry man asking questions.
I'm being respectful. If you don't want to say yes or no. That's fine. If you want to say you don't have a comment, I get it. I get it. But can I ask you? Can I ask you one other question, please?
Only if I can ask you one after.
Okay, fair.
Yes.
So
okay,
it's interesting to me that the judge called you into chambers in the first place.
Yes.
Because typically the judge only does that with attorneys involved in the case.
Why did he do that? What is going on? So is he involved? Is he not involved? That's the question. Is he just, does he think that this is cute? Is it better to just say that you're not involved, but then be involved? I have a lot of questions about this. He said, may or may not, that should be set in stone by now. And if so, he shouldn't be talking about any of it on the podcast. Right. That's right. Just like, I have a lot of questions about this. Hey, Ay Vamos, how are you, my love? Trying to taint the jury pool. Geragos should be charged too. It's a crap shot, that's for sure. I think he's like Geragos. You're not fooling anybody, but okay.
And you have not made it clear whether you are or are not an attorney in the case. So let me just make my point. So you have been in the courtroom all week wearing a rumpled suit, I might add, on Monday, and it wasn't any better Wednesday. Tuesday was okay. You have been consulting with the lawyers who are at counsel table. You have passed notes back and forth to the various lawyers. You have interacted with Diddy. You went into chambers with Mark Agnifilo, who is the lead lawyer. And when you came out of chambers, he had his arm around you. You have been in the 8th floor cafeteria, I know, Mark, because our producer, Brian, saw you there with your daughter, Tenny, who was on the defense team, and the other lawyers at a table drinking bottled water, and you were talking to them about the case during the lunch break. So,
okay, so what is that? What is that? Diddy doesn't trust Agnifilo. He brought in Brian Steele as a backup attorney at the last minute, says Pixie. You said, as a former Diddy lawyer, he's walking a very fine line and a slippery slope. It's sleazy, don't you? Like, I'm sorry, you guys. It is very sleazy to see all of this happen right in front of our eyes, and we're just acting like, what is going on? Yeah, wow. Is he in it? Like, you over there, you're going into chambers? You're hugging it out with the lawyer? Like, okay, so what is going on, guys? Hey, Steeler Princess, how are you, my love? And everybody coming through, hit the like button, please, and thank you. Shout out to everybody again. Happy Mother's Day. Why Geragos is smiling under fire? Darcy, I'm telling you, like, this just, it does not. And the thing is, it's like, for some of us, I don't know, maybe like, the more and more I do YouTube and I talk about lawyers that are in the like celebrity realm, you know what I mean? Thank you. Thank you. Good for him asking I don't like Harvey, but I think this is an important thing to make. He's asking him the tough questions, right? You're not placating him, and he is kind of making him nervous right then and there, right? I don't know what it is about as a YouTuber now that I like look into these kind of cases and review this. I really like, honestly, I think a lot of the lawyers that are involved here, first of all, the lawyers that say that they're for victims are always suspect to me. Okay. Bring in Busby, bring in Ariel Mitchell Kidd, bring in who else? Blackburn, bring in all these lawyers. We're here to represent victims. You know, the social media, they're like social media lawyers and victim lawyers. Those that play that dual relationship are the ones that are always suspect to me. I don't know what it is, y'all. And I have such a disdain. Like, as I keep talking about this, I notice myself, and I have to reflect on this, that I tend to have like this little disdain about this. What I will give Geragos at least some credit to is that he's telling you who he is, okay? He is a celebrity attorney. He's not representing victims. He's a defense attorney. He's telling you who he is. So I don't feel like he's necessarily tricking me or anything like that. But in this specific instance, I do feel like Geragos, is playing with fire a bit, walking the fine line. That's how I see this. Okay, let's keep playing with this, and let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Exactly. Why is it that the judge called you into chambers? Seems to me the judge views you as part of the defense team.
Is that a statement? Or are you making a closing argument?
It's actually, it's not bad. So, you got to say.
As you know, yeah, it wasn't bad. But there were a lot of false assumptions there. But I don't think I have let it be a secret that in fact, if you Google, you will see on several occasions I have represented Sean. I have frequently talked with Sean. I consider Sean a friend. And just because he's facing a very, very serious charges, I'm not going to abandon Sean. In fact, some would say I've given him my firstborn. So that is an interesting thing. But
Who? Teeny Geragos? I've given him my firstborn? Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Did you attend the freak offs too? I have a lot of questions. That's quite the statement to make. Oh my God. Yes, he said he gave him his firstborn. I have never, his daughter, Teeny Geragos, guys. Unless he has another firstborn, but I'm pretty sure that he's talking about Teeny Geragos, okay? I've never, ever, wow.
a number of the things you said, I just won't even engage with. What I will say is that if you would let me finish, there is a larger issue here, which this is not an interview as much as it is a podcast, and I want to talk about the larger issue. And the larger issue
but
is
you're just ignoring my
the whole idea. Just hold on. I let you give.
Okay,
I let you
but you
give
didn't respond
spiel.
to it. You didn't respond to it.
Yeah, because there's the response is kind of a TMZ response. I'd like to widen it just a little bit. And the widening it is that historically, and you mentioned Shepard versus Maxwell, who, for those who aren't in the weeds, that was the case in the 50s that F. Lee Bailey made his bones on. It was what became, do you remember the TV show?
The Fugitive. The Fugitive.
Can you just make your like he just dances around the issue, yo? I cannot with this guy.
Correct.
With David Jansen.
Right. With David Jansen. Very good. And by the way, how about the movie?
Great movie. Harrison Ford.
Very good. Look at you. And what the Supreme Court said is the carnival-like, the circus-like atmosphere affected the defendant's right to a fair trial. They weren't worried about the government's right. The U.S. Supreme Court wasn't.
I said this
somehow that had. Well, you certainly were.
That's right. That's right. TMZ is like, we don't care about case law here. We just want to get to the source. What is your role in this situation? And you know what? He answered it for us. He did. I gave him my firstborn. That's what he just said. I gave him my firstborn.
Rat-a-tat-tatting. But somehow that has been turned on its head. That somehow that the Supreme Court was arguing for the government's right to a fair trial, which is laughable.
So hold on. Okay, so I can bring this back. Wait, I get it. We get the case. We got it, Mark. You just gave us the facts and the holding of the case. So now the question is this: when the judge said this, was the judge saying the judge wasn't saying you violated the gag order. The judge was just saying under the rules of professional conduct, you can't go after prosecutors this way. So I don't think the judge was gagging you.
First of all, I don't think it was a gag order. I don't think that we're talking about the rules of professional conduct. I don't think we're talking about anything more than a local rule, which is 23.1, which if you take a look at the rule, it has not been interpreted.
So, okay, there's a local rule. You dispute the local rule. So I'm obviously you're not going to talk about that. And it doesn't seem like you want to talk about your association with the case. Although it's blurry to me because, again, you've been all over that case and you were in the courtroom all this past week. So I'm a little confused about why it is either you are or are not part of the defense team.
Is he or is he not? I would think he is at this point. I don't know. So I don't know the guy, but I already can't stand his smug face. He said that knowing that will be hot news with people trying to interpret what he means by that. He plays into the drama following Diddy. Yeah, this is why I'm like, I don't like this guy. I don't like this guy. And it's so crazy because I think, is he still I'm pretty sure he's still under the Menendez brothers, which we have to talk about. But
and in a way, I'm kind of glad if you're saying you're not, because then you can be in the podcast.
Yes, the irony is I don't know why you're arguing so forcefully for me to be on the defense team when that is at your own
I just said that. I literally just said that. Okay, I want to get into the case for a second. I am baffled at something. So there are 3 alleged victims who are ex-girlfriends and one who's an ex-employee of Diddy. Cassie, we know, is one of them. And I want to get into Cassie in a minute. But the fascinating one is there is one of these women does not want to testify.
Victim number 3. Okay. does not want to testify. I have not. Is she going to show up on Monday? Or not even that. I don't know if she has to show up, but are they going to hear from her on Monday? That's the question. Are they going to hear from her on Monday? What is going to happen? What if people drop out between now and then? I mean, they need 12 with 6 alternates. They have 43. I just feel like I don't know. And we haven't even decided who's going to sit yet because they still have to do the challenges. There's so much in between here that I think is at stake. We don't know. And let me just say this, okay? I don't blame the jurors, all right, for flaking out or feeling like, y'all, this is not something that I want to do because just imagine, okay, this is somebody who has a lot of weight in different areas of, the world, if that makes sense, right? You don't know what connections, you don't know what reputational harm or what can happen or anything from from just being a jury in there or being an attorney or anything. Some people are going to be fine. You just don't know if this is going to follow you later, if this can impact you later. You don't know anything. And anonymity and being anonymous or not having your name out there can only go so far. People tend to find things out later on. People get investigated. You just never know. And this is why I say this is a trial that is if you're a juror and you're able to do this, amazing. But is it worth it? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, 100%. You have to question you and your family's safety after that. I'm sorry, I've done jury duty before, right? And mine was not a high profile case or anything. Nothing like a Diddy or anything like that. But let's be very real. You get a number, you fill out a questionnaire. You can't tell me that some of this information isn't going to be at Diddy's reach or associates reach or anything like that. I feel like, you're only granted so much safety for so long. Some of these people have nothing to lose. You know what I mean? You're talking about somebody's life on the line. And then we don't even know the people behind Diddy, which is like, honestly, we just don't know. It's like it's like crossing a cult, especially one that's vindictive and vicious. So keep that in mind. I don't blame victims or witnesses or jury people for feeling some type of way or having some like safety concerns. I just don't. I don't.
And our information is that she's never wanted to testify. And yet the prosecution added her to the indictment and planned on calling her, but said as recently as the last hearing this week that she's still unwilling. So I'm not sure I understand the play here. If they've got somebody, but they can't get that person on the stand, why they added her to this indictment and what it means.
Well, I'm not so sure that we will know the answer to any of that until tomorrow, given what I heard in the courtroom. I think that the prosecutor said that they were going to address the issue. We're taping this on Thursday. If you're watching this, I believe they said they were going to address it on Friday.
So, if she is unwilling to testify, what, they would drop her from the indictment?
No, it's an interesting issue as to somebody who is alleged to be a victim in sexual assault cases. I don't know that they've addressed this issue head on in this circuit where they are, but I know in other courts there's been legislation that you cannot compel. There was a case where somebody refused to testify in California, for instance, in a prosecution for a sex offense, refused to testify, was placed in custody, and then they did a expedited hearing on it and was released. But then the legislature did a carve out on that. So it would seem to cut against the idea of forcing somebody who was unwilling to testify about these kinds of things.
Okay, so here's a question that I have. All right, forcing someone to testify who is an alleged victim. Maybe she's terrified, but let me just say this. This is that they are forcing. I would think that this would be like, first of all, imagine the PTSD. Okay, the PTSD from all of this. Then they're forcing you to testify. They're going to look out for you. If you don't testify, excuse me, I just spit. If you don't testify, they are going to come at you. They're going to do all kinds of different things. You never know like what is going to happen. You said they held YSL Woody in jail for failure to testify. He was a key witness, but was he a victim? That is the question. KY says not a V. I'm wearing a V-neck. Are you talking about who? Are you talking about my V-neck? Shout out to you. I get that there's an amendment that can get you to face your accusers. So what is it like for me? It's like as somebody that supports victims, this must be very difficult for any victim. Oh, not yours, Mark. Okay, I was like, oh my God, I'm wearing a V-neck, a little one. This must be hard, right? And at the same time, it's like they're forcing. You said not a victim, but testimony was the best public interest of the case. I don't trust Mark after realizing Adi in the name and the interrogation. Yes. Good morning, Sylvia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning, good morning. Shout out to Sylvia in the chat. Okay, I'm sure victim 3 has gave a sworn affidavit, but they're gonna force her to testify. That is the scary part to me. That it's like are they gonna make her? It's that idea that they're gonna find her, and then there's an attorney, right? You guys don't even know. Like to me, it's like, oh my God. Oh my God. It is what it is. Oh, y'all are saying that the V-necks are great for women. Because I'm like, I'm wearing a V-neck. I'm wearing a V-neck. What is going on? But it's okay. All right. Moving forward. So I don't know. I don't like Geragos here, and I feel like he's being very sketchy in my opinion. Guys, hit the like button, please, and thank you. I would appreciate it. Let me see where we're at with the I don't even know where my phone's at. Oh, here it is. Hold up. Let me see, because I always have to check where we are at with the likes. Welcome, everybody, for those that are coming through. Wake up. Good morning. Hopefully you guys are doing something great for Mother's Day. Shout out to everybody. Okay. All right. Here we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, can we get more likes, please? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right. Let's get it together. So, Nancy Grace. Oh, Nancy Grace. So apparently she did like a breakdown of Diddy party requirements. Those people that, if you were on the it list and everything, who would invite, like what they were expecting at a Diddy party. I don't know where she got this list from. I don't know who gave her this list and everything, but apparently this was like, if you in order for you to attend like these freak offs or these parties, you had to be on this. This is the requirements. Okay. Let me show you what she said.
Get on a set of scales. And if she was over 140 pounds, she could not come into the party.
If she was over 140 pounds, hold up.
Very
now.
beginning. Dr. Bethany, I'm almost joking about this so-called entry list. No flab, no cellulite, nobody over 140 pounds. Scales.
First of all, that's not new news, by the way, just so people are aware. There was a person that came in who was like, I remember this was a couple months ago. We actually talked about it on this channel. There was a person who said that they were like a organizer of the parties. And there was like if you were an outsider, there were things that were required for you, like you had to be under a certain weight and stuff like that. Now, that doesn't mean that they went to the freak offs. That just means that they were allowed in the party. Okay, so keep that in mind. So I don't know if Nancy's like did she get this from another tabloid or something? Because that's where a lot of this information came from. Okay, a lot of it
were used. Scales were used. If there was a question, the lady, the young girl, had to get on a set of scales. And if she was over 140 pounds, she could not come into the party. Your breasts have to be showing, no pants, no jeans.
Nancy, this reveals so many things about P. Diddy's character. First of all, these women are just objects. Remember, he's a voyeur as well. He likes to see people having sex. Now, think about the mindset of a sex addict.
It sounded like she said he's a lawyer, but she said he's a voyeur. So 140 pounds or less, scale used, no flab, no cellulite, not overly pierced, tattooed, no short hair, young and hot. Okay. This list has already been out. Like I said, this is not new news. Revealing provocative clothing, no pants, no jeans, no flat shoes, stilettos only. Oh my God. Party dress attire, short, no longer than mid thigh cleavage. Okay.
Which clearly he's sexually compulsive. What they want is arousing images around them all the time.
Straight out to Rob Shooter, a longtime colleague, host of Naughty But Nice podcast. He was Combs's publicist for many years. He was also Jennifer Lopez's publicist, and he has attended many white parties. Okay.
It's the way she like I cannot. All right, Nancy. You know, for those that don't know, Nancy actually got dragged in the Idaho 4 case. So she was outside of the murder house where for those that don't, you know, the young college students that were murdered by allegedly, it's me said Brian Koberger, but that's been disputed. I don't know. That guy's waiting trial. I think the trial's like August or October. Okay. Nancy Grace decided to put a little table outside of the murder house. She wore some green gloves and she looked like she was selling lemonade. I think I still have a photo of when she was sitting in the what is it, the Murdoch trial. Yes, I do. Look, this is an old photo. But this was Nancy. So y'all see, like this was me making fun of Nancy, right? So this was Nancy at the Alex Murdoch trial. She had the little laptop and the little table stand outside of the Koberger house, and she had green gloves with the little beanie. So then what I did is I put the stickers on her face and everything, and it was a hilarious joke of like, look, we spotted Nancy. Yes, yes, yes. So Nancy hasn't talked about, well, she's talked about Koberger here and there, but when she pulled that shit going outside of the murder house, people got really mad at her because she looked like she was selling lemonade outside of that murder house. Like it wasn't cute. And she was streaming outside of there with her little table. She looked like she was selling Girl Scout cookies and lemonade.
First question to you, and I'm honor bound to ask this, Rob Shooter. When you say that you attended the white party's number one, were you subjected to the requirements to attend a white party? In other words, did you weigh over 140 pounds? Did you wear a short dress where your quote butt cheeks show? Were you wearing stilettos?
I cannot. Oh my God. I gotta play her faster because a lady drives me a little bit crazy, but okay.
Were you, quote, sexy with a low cut top? Because those are some of the requirements that had to be met before you could put one toe in a Diddy white party translation. You had to wear all white. Also, did you have to stand on a set of scales, which were right there as people were entering to make sure you weren't over 140 pounds? And
do we know that there was a scale there? It's her eyes and the eyeshadow. I don't know, that blending thing didn't really work. I'm sorry. Listen, I have a Nancy Grace emoji, believe it or not, for the members. I just can't. Let me know what you think.
And were you subjected to an age request? Were you asked how old are you? So if you could just clear the air right now and answer those questions, Shooter.
Let me be clear. So I worked with Diddy in the early 2000s, over 20 years ago, and he wasn't yet the Diddy that we know today. So he was still sort of figuring out who he was as a celebrity, as a businessman. And so the parties that I threw for Diddy, I was a publicist. I organized the press outside, the red carpet, something we call a step and repeat. Celebrities walk down and take pictures. Those parties were about 2,000 people. Now, there
2,000 people for the parties.
were codes of conduct. You had to wear just white. If you turned up in another color.
Wait. Excuse me. Code of conduct? Are you serious? Code of conduct? You're acting like he's trying to get into the Naval Academy. A code of conduct? This is a dress code for women only. They had to show their breasts and their backside.
I never saw that list. What I saw was a list to get into the regular parties. The ones
Okay, like I'm like he's the one working the parties and he's telling you what he had to wear. Like what? People. I'm like, what is going on?
that started at about 10 o'clock, not the ones that started at 2 or 3 a.m.
The now youngest victim to file against Sean Combs claims she was just 13 when she snagged an invite to Diddy's 2000 VMA after party. Combs' limo driver told her Diddy likes younger girls and allowed her into the car. At the party, the victim feels woozy and lightheaded after one drink, so
That's the podcast.
she finds an empty bedroom to lie down in. Combs then bursts into the room with two celebrities, grabs the girl, and says she's ready to party. Combs throws her towards a male celebrity who undresses and rapes her. Combs then takes his turn.
Okay, and that is, we already know that lawsuit. That again, that is the Jane Doe. Okay, let me go back here.
Holmes reportedly, apparently, asking a 12-year-old little girl to party at an after party. What?
Are you getting your information from the civil lawsuits? Like, come on, Nancy, what are you doing?
Coming to the after party tonight?
Oh yeah,
Okay, you know,
that did happen. That's an old clip.
my longtime colleague and friend, Lisa Bloom, joining us tonight. You know, Lisa, sometimes you have to search and search and search for evidence. You got to beat the bushes. You got to bam on doors, jump out from behind cars to catch a witness with a subpoena in your hand. And then sometimes things just fall in your lap, like that TikTok video. And that's from our friends
Oh
at
my God.
MTV. That's just one of those things that just happen in life, Lisa Bloom. Really? Now, think about it, Lisa. Think about every grown man in your life. Would one of them walk up to a 12-year-old little girl? They might say, well, aren't you a pretty girl? What are you going to be when you grow up? Not, hey, babe, you want to go with me to an MTV after party?
Yeah, this is really sick, Nancy. And you're right. Video evidence is always so important to juries. We saw the Cassie Ventura video where he's beating her in a hallway, kicking her, dragging her. And I think that changed a lot of people's minds about who Sean Combs is. And my client, Don Richard, alleges that behind the scenes, he was brutal, he was threatening, he was violent, and a lot of people were really forced into sexual activity or tricked into it or drugged into it against their will.
Yep.
What is the crux of Dawn Richard's story, Lisa Bloom?
It's a sad story. Dawn Richard, for those who don't know her, is a very successful singer in her own right. She's got millions of social media followers.
She was on Dirty Diddy Money, guys, with Kalina Harper. And I was wondering, too, whether Kalina Harper would have testified as well, but I guess not. Who knows? Maybe Kalina Harper is victim 3 for all we know, because Kalina Harper has been, like, skipping out. She's just like, initially she came out defending Diddy. So I don't know. I don't know. But what if that's the case? Who knows?
On tour right now. And in 2004, she tried out for Making the Band. She was selected. She was in the band Danity Kane and later in the band Diddy Dirty Money. She alleges that she wasn't paid money that she was owed. She was exploited. She was locked in a car, locked in a hotel room, groped, grabbed. She saw a lot of physical violence. She was warned that the victim of violence. She ever complained. She tried to speak up for other women who she saw being assaulted, and nothing was done, and she was repeatedly threatened.
A common theme in the
So there is that. Guys. But I don't know. Like, I guess we will see what happens with this situation. I guess we will see who will testify. What is going to happen tomorrow? That's what we're all wanting to hear. And what I heard too was that the gray hair was strategy. But I thought that he couldn't really dye the gray hair because he's he couldn't get any hair dye behind bars. What I do wonder though is how much is this going to cost Diddy? How much is this going to cost Diddy? So how much is he spending on his legal team? Okay, so he's got 6 lawyers total, all right? So Sean Diddy Combs' legal team in Manhattan federal sex trial trafficking reads like a who's list of defense attorneys. Okay, so we have Agnifilo, Tini Geragos, Brian. By the way, Tini Geragos was with defending Keith Raniere, which they also lost that case. Mark Agnifilo was Keith Raniere as well. They lost that case. But Mark Agnifilo is defending Luigi Mangione as well. Mark Agnifilo and wife. Mark Agnifilo is a very, very busy man. Brian Steele with Young Thug, okay? Xavier Donaldson, eight lawyers listed on the Diddy court docket. And then you have, of course, Mark Geragos, who is or isn't helping. You have other lawyers that have represented Chris Brown, Elizabeth Holmes, which we have to talk about as well. All of these people, but this is a lot of lawyers. They're going to need to get paid. So I do wonder how much all of this is costing them. So people and experts have weighed in. Somebody said, I expect Diddy to spend 8 figures of more than 10 million on defense fees when it's all said and done. Top tier criminal defense attorneys in a complex federal case charges retainers of 1 million or more. All right. So this is what a lawyer kind of gave an estimate to. Diddy has a small army of lawyers working on this case that's expected when a net worth was reportedly 1 billion and his life is on the line. Okay. Here's my question. If he is found guilty, who the hell is going to be like, if he's found guilty, they're going to take everything? What if he's found guilty? Anybody think of that? You said that Miami house is paying for all those lawyers. How much is that Miami house worth? This is a lot of money. I don't know, man. I mean, a public defender can't do what all these lawyers can do, right? And it's not like you would be able to qualify for a public defender, but I'm saying like a public defender is not going to do what all these lawyers can do. He's trying to sell the house in LA, the one that got raided by the FBI. There's that. You don't trust Brian Steele? I don't know. I personally felt like, my opinion, that Diddy wasted a lot of money on those trying to get out on bond. I mean, because like those appeals cost money, right? All of that costs money and everything. I personally think that he wasted a lot of money there. He really should have just focused on his defense. That's what I think. Now, that being said, though, don't forget what the defense is going to be. Don't forget that they're going to be, saying that the DV did exist and it was DV between the both of them. Don't forget that. This is going to be a thing that they're going to say. DV was between both of them. And I think we kind of know, like, all right, this is what we expect as far as the defense goes, what they're going to argue. How are they going to justify the other things? When I did the video yesterday, if you have not watched it, where I read the judge's opinions about Diddy arguing about race, because he is arguing that. Diddy arguing about how the government is misinterpreting what victim 1 said, we believe is Cassie, or some of the messages. There's going to be messages. There's going to be all kinds of things. But this is going to be a very costly trial. And some people have said this is not going to be 8 weeks. This is going to be longer. I don't know. You just never know. Like, you never know what to expect. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay? That's what I'm going to say about that. You said Brian Steele, his strength is appeals in case law, and that's his strength. Interesting. He has a lot of money. He has offshore accounts, I'm sure. Sylvia, that's what I'm thinking. Diddy must have some offshore accounts or something. Okay. Who's in the house's name? Isn't it the mother? Diddy's mom? Then he's got all these civil lawsuits. Don't forget. Okay, that's just the legal stuff, guys. That's just the criminal stuff. Don't forget the civil stuff. Don't forget the civil stuff. Okay? That's just the criminal. It's like one thing after another, right? And let me just say this, well deserved, in my opinion. Well, because it's like, listen, well deserved. But the one thing I do have to side eye is, how is it that Diddy is the only one right now getting charged with all this? How is it? And then you still have so many other people that, like, are we not looking at the other people? We're not looking at the other people. What's going on? I don't know. And I said it to BJ too when we were live the other day. I said, this does not make sense to me whatsoever, at all. Doesn't make sense at all. But I do believe he might have some offshore accounts. I mean, it would make sense. It would make sense. Or someone is paying for some of these accounts. How many favors Diddy is owed? Guys, it just seems, I don't know, man. A lot of people feel like he's going to get off. Maybe he is. I don't know. We shall predict. We shall see how this all turns out, if you know what I mean. All right, guys, hit the like button. Hit the like button, please. And thank you. I would appreciate it. Support the channel. Here we go. All right, let's talk about Elizabeth Holmes. Elizabeth Holmes' husband raises millions for new biotech testing startup. So the hubby is also in the blood testing business. I never thought I would see the day, guys. I'm seriously trying to understand this. So, the husband, the partner of Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes, has raised millions of dollars for an artificial intelligence startup, hoping it will introduce a product that can be used in the medical testing and other settings, according to two sources with direct knowledge of the endeavors who could not speak publicly because the company has not officially launched. You know what? I object already. Wait, I don't have my judge's robe, but let me just say, nope. No, I object. I object. You are married to the lady. You're married to the lady, and we object. Because we don't know. No. You said he has a stock of baby oil. What is going on? He married the woman who did the Theranos blood thing. And now, guys, he's got a startup. You said, who in the right mind would invest in that? Yo, you can't make this up. I said, wait a minute, time out. How this is like, I don't know what what. When I heard this, I said, wait a minute. It would be different if this man wasn't married to the woman, but he's married to the woman. He's married to the woman. About a dozen people are part of the startup. A dozen? Some of those working on the company formerly known with Evans as Luminar Technologies, which develops sensors of autonomous vehicles. According to the company's patent in Delaware incorporation paperwork, Evans has raised money mostly among friends. Of course, those has to be the friends and families and other supporters, according to one of the sources. Holmes support for her partners into biotech. Like, she's, of course, supporting this, given that she's serving a federal prison sentence for fraud in the same field. What? Yeah, you can't make this up. How's that work? It's a financial marriage? I know, right? We'll invest. We're going to buy our fire tickets with our blood work. With our blood work. I don't know, man. I've never heard the Elizabeth Holmes hobby voice. She lost the deep voice. Can't do the voice right now because my throat is kind of weird. But yeah. Over the course of the nearly 4 months criminal trial, Holmes insisted that she did not commit any crimes, despite evidence presented by the government and witness testimony suggesting that she purposely deceived investors and tried to cover it up. Not long after she was plastered on the covers of magazine and drew comparisons to Steve Jobs. From prison, Holmes continues to fight. On Thursday, a federal appeals court upheld her conviction. Okay, so she lost some appeals. Holmes, the mother of two, named one of her children Invicta, Latin for invisible. Invicta? Is that how you say that? In addition to Holmes' fraud conviction, a separate investigation by the Securities and Exchange Commission led to her being banned from serving as an officer or director of any public company for a decade as part of March 2020 2018 settlement. The prohibition does not affect her ability to help run a private company. Can we get her out of any type of blood companies? And by the way, they're going to name this company, is it Hathiamus? Is that how you say it? It's a Greek word, and it's like it basically means helping people or something. So, just kind of like Theranos. Hold up. Let me see. Let me pronounce it correctly. Pronunciation. Come on, Google. Hold up. Because I want to make sure I said it correctly. So this is what the husband is going to name the company. How do you say Hathiamus? Hold up. Come on. Hemonthus. Hemonthus. That's what they're going to name the company. Hemonthus. It's an E. I don't like, this is how you pronounce it. Hemonthus. That's the name of the husband's startup company. And it's a startup company that has the same goal. A machine that can test your blood and tell you everything that's wrong with you. And like Elizabeth Holmes said in her speech, imagine an uncle, and I wish I would have saved my uncle's life had I had this machine. It was always an uncle or somebody if they had this machine. And now like the husband, like it's like it runs in the family. Okay, thank you. So as in blood. All right. I knew there was something like Greekish or some Latin. I don't know. Okay, but this is what they're naming the company. You can't make this up. I don't know. It's like, wait a minute. What? By the way, Elizabeth is still plotting somehow a post-prison return to the healthcare industry. Why is this woman why? This is the same thing with Billy McFarland. All right. Still allowed to plot. By the way, he's still plotting and planning a new location for Fire Festival. Why is this allowed? It's been postponed. I don't know. I think sometimes people like to be taken advantage of. I don't know what it is. This company with the husband, it's still in its early stages. And according to one person, the company is using light detection technology that can essentially guide AI sensors to conduct medical tests, according to the source. And a patent the company was granted in January. Anyways, moving on to other news. Let me know. I don't know. So question, I just did a 23andMe test, and if you accept and get the results that show that if you have something, it can prevent you from getting insurance coverage. But if you do this, what's the difference? Oh, that's a great question, Adam. That is a great question. Because that's what I thought too, because like insurance companies, if you do a 23andMe or any type of like lineage type of testing or something, they said that they can prevent you from like getting health if they find out you have a pre-existing condition. So that's a good question. How does that work? And yeah, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Medical words are mostly Greek and Latin. Yeah. Just like Scientology, some lie detectors shit. One of the cans they're going to bring over the cans and they're going to do can testing and figure out what's wrong with you. That's what it sounds like. I just can't. I can't, and I won't. You'll keep your blood. You said you'll keep your blood. Oh my God. That's hilarious. Keep your blood, y'all. Keep your blood. Okay. Let's keep going, guys. Let's keep going. So there's a lawyer, y'all. They call her Lady Mafia. Sarah Jacqueline King, lawyer convicted of spending over $9 million of clients' money on Las Vegas casinos and her lavish lifestyle. Her name is Jacqueline King, and she's been sentenced to 21 months in federal prison on May 5th. Okay. A California attorney has been sentenced to federal prison for embezzling 8.7 million of her clients' money to fuel gambling habits in Vegas. Oh my God. You cannot make this up. So she was sentenced to 21 months. Why 21 months? She stole 8.7 million. How do they, that's not even 2 years, right? That's not even 2 years. How do you make of that? What do you guys think? 21 months. Hold up, guys. I just got a message. Let me make sure everything's okay. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Hold up. Let me respond back. 1 second. Hold up. All right. Sorry. I didn't respond to that. On Monday, May 5th, Sarah Jacqueline King was sentenced to 21 months in federal prison after pleading guilty to wire fraud and money laundering charges. The LA Times and the Daily Mail reported she was also ordered to pay the $8 million in restitution. So the Newport Beach attorney 41 recruited investors under her business name, King Family Lending LLC, to facilitate short-term loans to celebrities, professional athletes, and other high net worth individuals secured by borrowers' owns assets. Wait a minute. So she had an LLC company to facilitate short-term loans to celebrities. So celebrities were getting loans from her. I mean, I know celebrities get a lot of loans and everything, but it does kind of make you wonder, like, what? Okay, this is her. She gonna be going to she gonna be going to prison. All right, 21 months. You said I would have spent 2 years in jail to gain 8 million. Would you? It's a weird thing to say. They said I know everybody's like, oh yeah, they're doing something for the mom. A movie is surely being written right now about Lady Mafia. The fact that she's got a Lady Mafia name is interesting to me. If you know what I mean. It's interesting. I'll say that much. You said it's a loan shark. Thank you. Yes, tell him to hit that like button, please, and thank you. I don't know. I don't know. What happened to her face? Vegas happened. You know what I mean? She got to keep up. She got to keep up. She got to do what she got to do. I'm not opposed to doing a little nip and tuck, but don't be like, taking from people. So, anyways, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Central California said that after filing charges against King in 2023, she never initiated or funded any loans. Instead, she used victims' funds to gamble at Las Vegas casinos and supported her lavish lifestyle. Lavish. In separate civil lawsuits filed by the LDR International Limited of the British Virginia Islands, King was accused of borrowing 97 loans amounting to 10.2 million from the company from January to October 2022. She spent the majority of the funds loaded by plaintiff to King lending to gambling in Las Vegas. So the lady's got a gambling problem, clearly. She got a gambling problem. You know what I mean? That's what she has. She's gambling. She's got a gambling problem. Plaintiff is informed and believed that King moved into the Wynn Las Vegas Resort and Hotel, lived there for 6 months, and gambled 24/7. This is what the lawsuit says. So she spent the majority of the funds on loans, funds loaned by plaintiffs. And that's what she did. She just gambled her lifestyle. She got the cute little dog. I wonder how much she paid. You said she needs to call 1-800-BETS-OFF. What was that one movie? Casino? That's like my favorite, mafia movie. You had who is it? It wasn't Al Pacino. God, I forgot his name. Casino. The big major, celebrities were in that movie. It kind of is giving me Casino, isn't it? It's giving Casino. She's just, but this is a woman, right? This is not like a male. Like she was doing her thing. She said she moved into the win and started gambling, the money. You know what I mean? hmm It's giving casino, isn't it? De Niro. Thank you. Thank you. Robert De Niro, the other guy, Pesci, Joe Pesci. Thank you. Thank you. And the other big celebrity who was in Basic Instincts. Her too. Y'all, these names are like escaping me. I need some coffee. They did that was a good move. So I'm thinking this is what she was doing. Only this is like women can do scams too, guys. Okay, women can do these kinds of scams. Thank you, Sharon Stone. Look at y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She wanted to, yeah. She says she's gonna. Her name is Lady Mafia. Her name is Lady Mafia. Mhm. Anyways, it was a good movie. It's like one of my favorite movies. Sharon Stone. Casino was one. I just hated the ending, but it was one of. I don't know. For me, it's like you're always wishing the best in these mafia movies, and they never end the way that you want them to end. That's right. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. But yes. Oh my God, V, have a safe flight, my love. Shout out to you, and thank you for being in the chat. Thank you, my love. Okay. So the lady, she got a cute little dog. She's a cute little lady who was scamming 8.7 million. All right. Anybody, my friends, anybody can scam the people. All right. Anybody. Don't you forget about that. Don't forget about that. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do a scam. Anybody can do it. And, hell, we can all do it. She said, it's your favorite. All right, guys. Let's talk about the Menendez brothers. I need to understand, like, where do you all stand with the Menendez? I want to know. Are y'all in support of the Menendez? Do y'all believe that these men deserve a fair shot? They have served their time. They were convicted with like a wrong, like it should have been a manslaughter instead of this. Where do you guys stand with all of it? Let me know. Where? Allegedly in trouble, you are okay. You're not behind. You can start here and then rewatch it. Let me know what you guys think. Let them out, says James. James says let them out. Keep them in prison, says Sue. Oh my God. See, we have to do a poll because we were waiting and nothing happened. And then we found out the news later on about just an update on the Menendez. You said if Gypsy Rose got out, they have an opportunity. Queen Machete said, free them, Rabbit. Just free them. You said Menendez brothers, a gift that keeps on giving. I don't know anymore. You know what? Just a tea, please. You're not the only one who feels that way. People have said we don't know anymore. Are we? Do we still feel like they need to be? Where are we at? Do I need to go rewatch the Netflix video? What's going on here? Let them out already. People are on the fence on this one, guys. I kid you not. I kid you not. And we have to talk about it. Okay. So let's go ahead and do a little poll. And shout out to everybody that hit the like button, please. And thank you. I just kind of want to know where you guys are at. Menendez. Okay. Free them or keep them. Keep them locked up. Free them or keep them locked up. Where do you stand? Go vote. Hit the like button, please. And thank you. Shout out to everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Said set them free. Okay. Keep them. They're not a threat. Okay. Jesus, take the wheel, says Abraham. Take the wheel, Jesus. Let me know. I honestly don't know how to feel about them. Okay. If they let Gypsy out, she's not even remorseful. Let me tell you, Gypsy is a whole trash can ass person. I'm sorry. Okay. She's over. What I heard, Gypsy Rose was texting the baby daddy. Well, no. Hold up. I can't even keep track of this. So she's with the guy that she had the baby with, but she's still texting the ex-husband at like 1 a.m. What's that all about? Because the D was on fire. That's what how were you having a whole baby with another man that you cheated your husband with, your ex-husband with? You said your ex-husband violated you and abused you and locked you, did a bunch of things to you, girl, and you're messaging him at 1:30 a.m. Was the D on fire? That's what I want to know. The D must have been on fire, and Gypsy Rose is like, I missed that fiery D, and I gotta I'm thirsty, and I gotta text him at 1:30 in the morning. Listen. That's some thirsty stuff right there. You got a whole daughter. You happy Mother's Day to Gypsy Rose. But girl, stop it. You are texting the ex-husband while you're over here with the new guy and the baby. Focus on the new guy and the baby, girl. Okay? That's too much. You know what, Brandon? You are so right. Okay? You're screaming. Am I lying, Blair? The D was on fire. She forgot how fiery that D was. Okay? Okay? I'm just saying. Now, let's talk about the Menendez brothers, who is a whole different situation. The Doc, thank you so much for this super chat. 30 years is a long time. Let them go, says the Doc. All right, the Doc. The Doc has quacked and spoken. Okay, look. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Let's talk about the Menendez brothers. I just needed to know. You said the fiery D acting like a CDC thing. Some of you guys may not even know what the hell is the D's on fire. If you don't know, that's okay. All right. You're going to have to watch a couple of streams to kind of catch up on that. But Gypsy Rose did say that, Ryan's D, her ex-husband, was on fire or is on fire. The D's on fire. And that people ran around with that on social media. So anyways, it is what it is. Now go vote and tell me what you think about this whole situation. Let me know, because literally we need to figure it out. You said I can't even with the D. There's, if the D's on fire, there's medication for that. You're absolutely right. If somebody says your D's on fire, I would be worried about what could be happening. Because if the D's on fire, I don't want my thing on fire. So y'all make sure you get that checked out. There's creams for that. There's ointments for that. There's a doctor for that. Get that shit checked out. Nobody's D should be burning like that. Okay. Can we get ourselves together? Rando from Iowa. Thank you. Order. Look at Katie's like, listen, Rabbit, we gotta get you on order because you're doing too much. Welcome, everybody. All right. Let's get it together. All right. Let's talk about the Menendez brothers. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Happy Mother's Day. Menendez brothers suddenly withdraw move to toss LADA off case. Resentencing hearings set for next week. Now, I don't know if they did that because they were like, well, we're getting a resentencing hearing. Clearly, we don't need this guy removed. There's like this hate relationship. I don't want to say love-hate relationship. There's a hate relationship going on between the Menendez and the new DA. The new DA has been making it, in my opinion, very difficult for the Menendez brothers. Now, if this guy is so tough on crime, let's see how tough he is when the next other, I'm just wondering, because the guy, Gascon, the other DA that was there, he was all for the Menendez release. So what happened? What made him change his mind? That's what I want to know. Okay, so he's tough on crime. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he feels like the Menendez have not been remorseful, that there's lies out there that they have spewed, and they gave him a list of lies, and they said, you got to talk about this lie, this lie, this lie. But it's like, all right, so at this point, 30 plus years after the crime, they're not celebrating Mother's Days, clearly, I don't think. What else is there to this? Honestly, they murdered their parents. They're not denying that the crime didn't happen. Now, maybe there was some denial of it, when they were trying to work through the case and stuff like that and everything. But one thing that I feel is very strongly about is, why are we denying the possibility or the fact that it's been put out there that these two men were molested and essayed by their father? I don't take that. I honestly believe that happened. And I believe that happened because of Roy Rosselló's, the Menudo testimony and statement that he filed through the court. I believe it. I believe that it happened. And I believe that we are we're minimizing what that is. I feel like their sentencing was a lot higher and it should have been. They didn't consider all the factors. That's just my opinion, though. But I don't know. It's like a situation where it's like, well, we release them. Are they a threat to the community? People can argue back and forth with that. I don't know. They couldn't. It's one of those things where people will go back and forth on forever. For me, it's like, well, show me their risk. What is their risk? What is it that the new attorney is trying to prove here? This is what I don't understand. So let's get it together. So the latest showdown between Eric and Lyle Menendez and the Los Angeles County District Attorney Office has come at a pivotal notch. In a surprising move Friday morning during a hearing in the Van Nuys, California courthouse, Menendez brothers lawyer Mark Geragos. Oh, here we go. We talk about Mark Geragos. I think I'm gonna need like an official thumbnail or something every time we go live on Mark Geragos. We're gonna have to find a funny picture of Mark Geragos because it is what it is. Let's get it together. Mark Geragos withdrew a motion to remove the DA, Nathan Hunchman, and his entire office from the case. While more than usual with the media, before today's hearing, the typical Geragos didn't give a detailed reason before Judge Michael for the move, except to say he didn't want to see the resentencing process held up any more than necessary. So a fiery media frenzy back in the 90s, the case of the 1989 gunshot murders of the brothers' parents by the siblings has returned to the spotlight in no small part due to the success of this Netflix documentary series. To that newish evidence that the 18 and 21-year-old Menendez brothers now insist the shooting of Jose and Kitty Menendez was self-defense against the ongoing sexual abuse by their record company executive father. Now, this is where it's tricky. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I necessarily agree with the defense that there was ongoing SA. Okay. Let me give you guys an example. I'm going to make a little parallel example. You have Gypsy Rose, who said that she was abused, but when the murder of her mother happened, she was of adult age. These two men were of adult age. Now, could there have been some motive where it's like they felt like they couldn't figure things out and the only way to end whatever PTSD or situation that was happening at that moment was to murder their parents? I don't know if that's what, I don't know how you can justify that when you are of adult age. This isn't a child situation. Just like Gypsy Rose. Gypsy Rose murdered her mother, or at least was complicit in that murder. You know, she had a hand in that, right? But she wasn't a child. Did she go through child abuse? Absolutely. Did the Menendez brothers go through child abuse? Absolutely. We can agree with that. But this is that part where I'm like, I don't know if you can use that defense 1000% of the time. Now, have they spent enough time behind bars? Did the court consider the SA of them as children? I don't think they did. And I think that that's something that they should be evaluated and should be brought, as a resentencing part. So I'm here for it. I'm here for them to be, to have a lower sentence. I'm here for them to figure things out. I'm here for it. But I just don't want us to mix words about, what did or didn't happen, if that makes sense. Like, they did murder their parents. We're not going to rewrite history. They were essayed. It sounds like they were essayed by their parents. We're not going to rewrite history. Just like Gypsy Rose, we cannot rewrite history about her part in the murder of her mother. And that's the problem that I have with the judicial system. Cannot rewrite things. We cannot, right? You said, is Geragos the new pope? It's a great question. Is Geragos the new pope? What do y'all think? Is because he's all over the place. We just talked about him a good 30 minutes. Is he the new pope? Let me know. Y'all think that he's the new pope? Let me know. What do you think? SA wasn't taken seriously back then. That's my point. That it wasn't, and it should have been. And if it had been taken serious, maybe this would be a whole different situation. What do you guys think? It should be taken serious. Hold up. Now I got another message. Hold up. Hold up. Give me 1 second. They're trying. I'm starving too. I'm like, I'm hungry. I need to eat something. Hold up. What do y'all think? What do you guys make of it? You said no death penalty in California. The question is moot. Okay. Said in the first trial, SA was a huge part of the defense and was taken very serious, as Mark. Okay. Yes, I do have Discord and you're a member, so you make sure you take advantage of that Discord, okay? Let me know. My mother was severely abused as a child. She didn't kill her parents. See, that's the other side of that argument. Your mother was, that's the thing. It's like there's a lot of people in the chat. Y'all can attest to this. Sometimes you go through things and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go out. Like I have been, maybe I've had personal things happen to me, of course, but I'm not going to go out there and, people don't go out there murdering their parents. Everybody goes through something different, if you know what I mean. Let's see. You said they're trying to hurry you up, Mom. They are, and I'm starving, y'all. I really am starving. And I'm gonna go eat some. I had coffee, but I didn't have breakfast. Are you watching me, Rabbit? Because I literally just sat down with pizza. As you said, you were hungry. That's weird. That's funny. Can you talk about who? Can you? I don't know who you're talking about, Vanessa. Who are you talking about? I'm conflicted with the Menendez brothers. Essays definitely should be considered, but I remember them partying and going to spending sprees after the murder. We could say that too. This is the thing about this case. It's like, I don't like when people try to rewrite things, even if it's about behavior, right? Good point. I was abused by a priest, but haven't unalived any. See what I'm saying? Is a lot of people that go through abuse and don't go unaliving people, or anything like that. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of that? I'm trying to figure out what Vanessa's talking about. Does anybody know what Vanessa? Can you type it in the chat what you're talking about? Because I have no idea who you're talking about. Who's that? Who? Can y'all? Okay, Vanessa. Shout out to you, Vanessa. Hit the like button. I lived through these events and trials, and gals, give me that Netflix series can garner enough sympathy to free these monsters. Interesting. People, you know what, Mark? A lot of people have said this too. It's like, if you get a Netflix series, okay, it's like Scott Peterson, right? Some people, I told you guys my opinion. I feel like Scott Peterson deserves a new trial or a retrial. Okay? Because the way I see it is that the defense should stand for, like, the evidence should speak for itself, and we don't need to rewrite history, right? The evidence should speak for itself. Horrible husband, cheater, everything. Okay? But if we're just convicting on circumstantial evidence, I have a problem with that, guys. I do. And that's the thing that I'm like, I think that if, the evidence will stand for what it is, give them a new trial. I'm here for it. But if this means we're going to rewrite history, I'm not here for that rewriting of history. I don't want to do that. I think it's horrible to rewrite history. And so say that, like Mark said right here, if the defense, Lyle, the Menendez brothers' defense had tried to say that they were essayed in the first trial and it wasn't taken serious. Okay, let's just say that that's the case. Does it still justify the murder of the parents? No, I don't think so. But I think what it does at least deserve is consideration in resentencing. I think it deserves to be said, well, okay, this is what happened. But mind you, Lyle and the Menendez were well over the age. They were adults. And people will say, well, could they have self-protected then? What happened? And I only use this sentence, self-protected, because when I worked in CPS for 10 years, this was that narrative. When information would come about essay of children into the hotlines, one of the things that is being considered is whether vulnerability of a child is their ability to self-protect. Age plays a factor here. Now you're talking about adults. Were they as safe as children? I believe it. But they were adults when the murder happened, right? That's the fact. This is like Gypsy Rose. She was an adult when the murder of her mother happened. She could have stopped it and did not. She played a role in it. Even though she wants to rewrite history now through her series, through, that's the shit. It's like, y'all, if you want to support the people that committed these heinous crimes, okay, stand on the support that you provide. Note what you're providing, but don't go out rewriting history about what did or didn't happen and the role that they played in, because that's not going to make them look cute. You take a dump outside, it's still a dump. It still smells. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's what I don't agree with whatsoever. Yeah, consider the fact that they were abused as children, but don't rewrite the history. Don't rewrite the history, because it's distortion. It's tunnel vision. You're rewriting something that you didn't live in there. You weren't there for that. That's the piece that I stand 1000% on. I do. Okay. Thank you. Shout out to Mark. You said that is a bad analogy. This is what I'm saying. You take a dump and you put a bow. Isn't it still a dump? Right? It is what it is. You said the embarrassment of taking a dump outside. Well, listen, don't forget about that lady that took a dump in on top of somebody's car. Okay? Don't forget. Thank you, Vicky. Shout out to Vicky. Like that's the only thing I'm saying. Now, consider everything else. Consider the fact that there was abuse. Consider everything else. Okay? Consider it all, but don't rewrite the history. I don't agree with that. Don't rewrite the history. Susan's like, all right, y'all, bye, lunch. I'm not trying to talk about dumps. It's still a dump. That's right. That's it. You remember that? We talked about it. Was it a week ago? The lady took a huge old dump on top of the person's car, and she said she was being followed. Some of you guys were talking about, did she have any toilet paper? I said, bye. We're done. We're done. All right, guys. I am out of here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I gotta go. I'm starving. Okay. Support the channel, hit the like button, share, do all those beautiful things that you do. I'll probably be live later on tonight. Because I kind of want to talk a little bit more about Diddy and kind of prep for that too, and kind of put some stuff together that I have going on for Monday. So this should be interesting. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all are amazing. Thank you, everybody that supported. Shout out to Sylvia. Everybody, happy Mother's Day, Grandmother's Day, Grandparents' Day, all the guardians, all the supporters, all the people that played a part in, raising you or help you or anything. Shout out to everybody. That's a lot of people, y'all. Okay? Not just the mothers, but everybody. Hit the like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I am out. I'm starving. I'm out. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.